Hello everybody, welcome to the Daily Sip. My name is Oliver. My mission is to bring you closer to Japanese organic green tea, and today's topic is why actually is my water from the tea bag not as green as your high quality green tea. So this is what we want to do and dive into today, why actually or what the difference is and why the brewing of your green tea bag is never as green as your typical green tea which you brew at home. Good. When we just have a look at it, okay, so we have the tea bag and we have the leaf tea. So just in comparison, here you have the leaf tea. When we just open up a tea bag, how does it actually look like? Not only that it is less tea which is used, but also that it's finely chopped. Here we have nice long needles, while here we have chopped tea. So you already see it in the color of the tea, due to the fact that it is chopped and it is a little bit lower quality tea, then the tea also gets a little bit browner. But the brown color, what does it actually indicate? So green tea and green tea, if it is not as dark, what is good about the high quality or the better quality green tea is that when you have it and when you buy it, often it is shaded. What does the shading process do? So the shading process is actually provoking the plant to absorb more nutrients, to push the leaves more kind of full with nutrients, full with chlorophyll, full with caffeine, full with amino acids. So you have really a strong, dense plant which is filled with nutrients, and often it is the first harvest, while we have several harvests with the tea bags, and often it's just not the good quality. But also what they try to do is actually they try to optimize the surface of the tea by just chopping the tea leaves. But what happens actually with the tea when you chop it so finely, or when it's nearly even dusty, it happens that the tea loses its nutrients, it loses its essential oils, it loses many positive aspect of its being, and that's a little bit the problem. Then finally this turns out into a weak taste, and more than just quite a bit tea leaves are then added, or to the tea leaves is a natural flavor added, which is finally just extraction of flavor. So the tea you're actually drinking doesn't have enough flavor anymore because it's chopped so fine, and then they have to add an extra layer of flavor just to make you feel that you have a good feeling or good mouth feel of the green tea. Often this you kind of realize it when there's a strong first impression of the taste, and then it fades away quite quickly. So now let's go into the brewing just to have a comparison of these two teas now. Voilà. Good. So this is the tea bag. We're gonna leave it in for a little bit more than a minute, and we have the Kyushu with the Gyokuro this morning. So the Empress tea, how it is also called, the tea which is shaded for more than 20 days, really the most nutrient rich tea in the Japanese green tea section, besides matcha. So matcha and Gyokuro are prepared in a quite similar way, and that's why also I try, or I use it this morning to really have the richest tea against your tea bag tea. So we already can see a little bit it's still brewing. When we just go with the color, it has a little bit this brownish, slightly pale aspect to it. So this is now the tea bag. Here a first indication. Looks quite nice and green. Good. I already have kind of these notes, these amino acid notes, like this umami, a little bit savory taste profile, sweet corn profile coming out. Just gonna leave it in a little bit more, and then we just pour it out. In the meantime, I take out the tea bag, so you can see it's quite yellowish, quite brownish. Just squeeze it a little bit, And then this is the tea bag tea you are drinking. Then let's go into the Japanese green tea. Voila. So it's not the greenest green tea, so there's even a more green tea, or a greener green tea which exists, which is the Fuka Mushicha, so a deep steam tea. What happens there is that you break down a little bit more through a longer steeping just after harvest the cells, but already here you can see the big difference between these two teas. So you really see this kind of dark brownish color, while you have here a beautiful green one. So really a difference of the color of these two teas. And now just in terms of taste, it really feels like this natural flavoring of green tea. It often feels like kind of a nearly chewing gummy kind of type of green tea. It's very strong in the beginning, but then fades away, and there's not a big aftertaste. There's no lingering, no development in your palate, nothing. It's just at the beginning is a very big explosion of flavor. In terms of the kind of peppermint, chewy, gummy style. Very typical for green tea. So this is this natural flavor green tea, which really goes in that direction. Then completely different. You can really feel it also in the texture. Like the Gyokuro is a little bit like of a nearly silky texture, like it really glides over your tongue. It's very, very nice in terms of kind of taste development. It's continuous and continues to linger in your mouth, in your palate, and really this develops over and over the seconds, really new taste profiles. So you go from a little bit more of a savory, sweeter taste, then over to kind of a little bit of a fruity taste, and then changing again into savory. You really start first with a nutty, creamy, kind of a nutty, creamy flavor profile. Then it goes over into a little bit more savoriness. It goes away again, leaves a little bit space for some fruitiness, and then goes over again into the kind of savory part of the tea. So this is a tea which is rich in nutrients, and they have all different flavor profiles, and then they all kind of develop in different areas, kind of develop in different direction, and that's why this is such a special experience when you have higher quality tea. And finally, when you compare the teas, it's clear here you're around 10 to 15 cents a cup. Here you're around maybe 25 to 30 cents a cup if you could just calculate it down. So the tea bag tea definitely is a cheaper variant if you take really high quality, but you even got senchas which are quite comparable and which are much better in terms of taste, also in terms of nutrients. So that's mainly the main reason. It's really this density of nutrients which is just better with the higher quality tea, and this is the reason also why your tea from tea bag is actually browner, just being chopped, just being the kind of the lower quality leaves, more browner leaves. And here what's definitely need to be said is that it's always supported with natural flavoring which are added afterwards to the tea, because the tea itself doesn't have too much taste anymore, and this shows in the color. Normally this is a little bit the direction a fermented tea would go in Japan, and here you have a nice green color of the tea. So quite rich, quite dense, and very, very complex in its taste profile. Good. This was this already. So I hope you liked this small session this morning. I will continue drinking my tea, and if you ever have any questions, do not hesitate. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Bye bye. See you tomorrow. Bye.